Step into a world of romance and mystery with Tamora Rose, where candlelight flickers against stone walls, silk skirts whisper secrets across polished floors, and a single stolen glance can change the course of a life forever. Today I want to talk about why historical romance captured my heart so completely, and why, once it did, there was no turning back. There is something almost alchemical about historical romance, something that feels larger than the page itself. It is the meeting point of longing and restraint, of desires and danger, of love blooming in a world that is not always kind to it. From the very beginning, I felt that pull, even before I fully understood what it was I was falling into. It wasn't just romance, it was atmosphere, it was emotional gravity. It was the sense that every choice mattered more because the stakes were so high. I didn't set out looking for historical romance. Like many readers, I stumbled into it by accident. One quiet afternoon, a book found its way into my hands, and with it came an entirely new emotional landscape. I expected something light, maybe even something predictable. What I found instead was depth. Complexity. Characters who felt constrained by their world but burning to break free of it. That first experience rewired something in me as a reader. Historical romance is often misunderstood by those who haven't fully stepped inside it. It gets dismissed as pretty dresses, entitled men, an indulgent fantasy without substance. But anyone who has truly read the genre knows that couldn't be further from the truth. These stories grapple with power, identity, survival, and autonomy. They ask what it costs to love in a world where love can be forbidden, dangerous, or even ruinous. What captured me was watching characters navigate rigid systems that were never designed to benefit them, especially the women, especially anyone who dared to want more than what society allowed. A heroine fighting to keep her independence. A man torn between inherited duty and personal truth. Lovers forced to choose between safety and happiness. These aren't trivial conflicts. They are deeply human ones, wrapped in corsets and candle smoke. The heroines were what truly sealed my devotion to the genre. They were not passive figures waiting to be rescued. They were thinkers, survivors, strategists. Women who learned how to wield the limited power available to them with intelligence and courage. Some challenged the rules openly. Others bent them quietly. All of them refused to disappear into the background of their own stories. There is something profoundly moving about watching a woman claim space in a world determined to deny her voice. Whether she is a sharp-tongued blue stocking, a widow protecting hard-won freedom, or a woman living under an assumed name, her journey is never simple. Her choices carry consequences, and when love enters her life, it is not an escape from who she is, but a crucible that tests her resolve. And then there are the heroes. Historical romance does not offer perfection. It offers transformation. These men are shaped by their time, their upbringing, their expectations, and they are not always kind at first. They are not always right. But they are capable of growth, of humility, of learning to see what the heroine has to offer, learning to see her as equal. Watching the evolution, watching respect bloom alongside desire, is one of the most satisfying emotional arcs the genre has to offer. What makes historical romance extraordinary is that it never separates love from its environment. The setting is not just scenery, it is an active force in the story. Reputation matters. Distance matters. Time matters. A letter delayed by weeks can shatter a heart. A rumor can destroy a future. A single evening alone can alter the course of multiple lives. Love does not happen in a vacuum. It happens under pressure. These stories are immersive in the truest sense of the word. They invite you to live inside another era, to feel its limitations and its quiet rebellions. They show you what it meant to exist in a world where options were few and consequences were severe. And within that world, they allow love to feel earned, hard-won, dangerous, and even precious. I've always been drawn to the details, the rituals of courtship, the unspoken rules, the way meaning hides in gestures that modern readers might overlook. A gloved hand brushing another, a dance granted or denied, a conversation held just a little too long. These moments carry weight because the world gives them weight, and that makes the romance resonate all the more deeply. As my love for the genre grew, so did something else, the desire to create within it, to write the kinds of stories that made my chest ache in the best possible way. Stories where love was not easy, but it was worth it. Where women were not diminished by romance, but were strengthened by it. Where happy endings were not handed out, but fought for with everything the characters had. Writing as Tamora Rose means honoring the emotional intensity that drew me in as a reader in the first place. It means crafting worlds that feel alive and dangerous and beautiful all at once. It means letting characters make mistakes and face the consequences and still find their way to something extraordinary. Love in these stories is not a reward for good behavior. It's a choice, a risk, and an act of defiance. I write for readers who crave more than surface-level heat. For those who want passion entwined with plot, desire sharpened by longing, and emotional arcs that linger long after the final page. I write for the ones who read to escape, yes, but also to feel deeply seen, to believe, even briefly, in a love that endures impossible odds. Historical romance offers possibility in its purest form. It says that even in a world built on restriction, love can carve out space. That even when society insists on silence, the heart can still speak. These stories remind us that hope is not naive, it is radical. And that believing in love, especially when it is difficult, is its own kind of courage. That's why I fell in love with historical romance. Not because it was easy, not because it was predictable, but because it dared to imagine tenderness in harsh worlds, connection in isolating systems, and joy in the face of real risk. Once I stepped into that space, I never wanted to leave. That's it for today. Tell me what first drew you to historical or paranormal romance in the comments. Until we meet again, may your days be filled with passion and just a touch of magic.